Hello everyone, my name is Tinky Chang. Today I'm here to give a speech on the supply and demand as well as price analysis of the Australian housing market. In recent years, housing prices in Australia have continued to rise and supply has been insufficient, making the issue of housing affordability more prominent. Housing prices have soared while the supply of new housing lagged behind, leading to an imbalance between supply and demand in the market. Consumers are under heavy pressure to purchase houses, and the housing consumption structure is unbalanced. This situation not only has harmed the welfare of residents, but also raised the concern about macroeconomic and social stability. This analysis selects the official housing data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, let's just call it ABS, including the National House Price Index, total residential value, and total market value of housing, and it was visualized. This bar chart shows the historical changes in core indicators such as the national average housing prices, the total number of residents, and the total value of housing. Data shows that the growth rate of housing prices has significantly exceeded that of residential supply, thus creating a clear pattern of market supply falling short of demand. This situation is in perfect alignment with the supply and demand theory in economics, where demand far exceeds supply, leading to a continuous rise in prices. Statistical data indicate that the fluctuation of average housing prices is significantly higher than the housing supply, suggesting that the housing prices are more sensitive to the market change. The slow growth in supply has failed to effectively to the tight supply and demand situation in the market. Therefore, the government and market decision maker need to actively increase housing supply. What you are seeing now is a supply and demand gap line chart. This chart reviews the different choices, behavior characteristic of consumer and producer in the housing market. Consumers have not significantly reduced their demand in the face of rising housing price, while producer, due to the policy restriction, high construction costs, and the complex land approval producer, find it difficult to increase housing supply in a timely and rapid manner. The market gap has long existed and is showing an expanding trend. This indicates that there is a clear mismatch in the decision of both supply and demand side. High housing prices have led some consumers to postpone or change their purchase behavior, while producers driven by interest hope to increase supply but are restricted by the external condition. The enlightenment of market imbalance for decision maker is that it's necessary to encourage the supply side to increase housing construction through policy measures. At the same time, necessary support should be provided on the demand side, such as policy to the first-time home buyers to promote the gradual restoration of market equilibrium. What is presented now are the scatter plot and the normal probability plot of the price elasticity of the housing market. The scatter plot reflects the relationship between the housing prices and the number of houses. The fitted trend shows the price elasticity is very low. When price rise sharply, the supply only increase slightly and the supply lack elasticity. After the price increase, the demand slightly declines, and the declines become rapid. This is in line with the elasticity theory. When supply and demand lack elasticity, quantity responds slowly to the price change, and price fluctuates sharply. The normal probability graph indicates that the residual follows a normal distribution and the model hypothesis holds true. Insufficient supply elasticity means that when the market is impacted, housing prices may fluctuate sharply and breed bubble risk. Therefore, it is necessary to enhance supply elasticity and curb excessive demand in order to reduce market. Overall, this process has enhanced the comprehensive capability of official data processing, economical theory analysis, and chart interpretation, as well as quantitative analysis and problem-solving skills. These capabilities are highly applicable in the field of real estate, market analysis, urban planning, and policy consultation, and can help me with more accurately identify market trends, analyze supply and demand, and put forward practical and effective policy suggestions. This skill not only enhances my professional competitive in real estate research and policy analysis position, but also improve my professional performance in data-driven decision making. Thank you for listening.